And his strategy is put enough Jews there, settle them on the West Bank, and any exchange of land for peace will become impossible. And so there's no way to stop him from using the money that we give him for humanitarian aid to actually achieve a political end that undermines the possibility of peace. And that's the tragedy of it, that these Soviet Jews are being used as a pawn by Shamir to do a kind of moral blackmail on the United States, to say, give us the money, but we know very well that that money is going to go eventually to free up other monies in Israel that will be used to increase the settlement of the West Bank. And that's why it's legitimate to ask Shamir to say, okay, you want the money, give us a freeze.
Michael,
the settlement.
I have to leave the two of you in disagreement on this issue, although I thank you both. Good statement of
May I say that less than 1% go to the territories? Less than 1%. 99% of Soviet Jews stay within Israel proper, and I think we have to recognize that.
Shoshana Cardin, Michael Lerner, thank you both for being here. 16 minutes after the hour. You've got your degree. Now want to look at life beyond graduation when we continue.
Door in the face of many recent graduates, and our college editor Dave McCann tells us that for the class of 91, finding a job has become their toughest assignment ever.
Graduation day, a day filled with energy and dreams, of hard work done and rich rewards to come. But last spring's graduation has given way to summertime blues. What has burst the bubble for the class of 91?
Some fairly sobering economic news today. The unemployment rate last month was the highest in more than 4 years.
Despite 4 years and thousands of dollars spent, too many young graduates are finding themselves out of school and out of work. Because of the recession, companies are sending fewer recruiters, offering fewer jobs. By some estimates, nearly twice as many 1991 graduates failed to find jobs as in years past. Many are seeking refuge in graduate school or living back home with their parents. The sky is no longer the limit.
Jane Carey. Julie, how'd it go this morning?
Jane Hopkins Carey is the head of the Career Center at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. It is her job to help get students jobs.
We found a 20% decline in the number of companies coming to our on-campus recruiting program last year, which is the most visible sign of a decline for us anyway. In addition, we found we had to work much harder to get those companies to hire our students in the end.
Getting a high-paying job right out of college has become a dream deferred. The recession has forced young graduates to make the kinds of compromises their $80,000 educations were supposed to prevent. Thousands have ended up doing odd jobs just to make ends meet. Meet Ted Davis. He thought he'd be tending to a career by now. He's tending a bar instead. What he wants is a job with a political consulting firm. What he's got is a lot of rejection letters.
I've been looking for a job since like June. I've been sending out cover letters, usually about 5 or 6 a week to different places, and I've gotten like 15, 20 rejections.
Then there's Mark Culpepper, who's living in irony. Unable to land a permanent job, he's working in Georgetown's career placement office.
You know, misery likes company, and there's a lot of people here that are in the same situation, unfortunately. I know quite a few people who've been in here all summer long looking for jobs, and very little has materialized.
Very little has materialized for Elizabeth Dierstein, a French major from Denison University in Ohio. She says she's not willing to settle for just anything.
My job search began in February. I've sent out about 60 resumes. I've had about 30 interviews. And every day I go through the help wanted ads, make telephone calls, and schedule new interviews.
All of this is to try to help you get a job.
So what's a graduate to do? The Georgetown Career Center has created a program called the Strategic Job Search, a course designed to teach students interviewing skills, how to write a resume, and most of all, how to master the art of networking.
Calling on the friends of friends, the friends of your family, the alumni of this institution, and that's really the best form. It's always been the best way to find a job, is working your network, but that becomes critical in times like this because people hire who they know and they only have a job or two to offer.
My advice to this year's graduating seniors is number one, prepare a great resume. Number two is for every interview that you take, be prepared. Also, be yourself. Try not to be anything that you're not. Number 3 would be to attempt to identify all possible opportunities. Do not limit yourself early on in the process.
Hi, how are you doing? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Come on.
Things are working out for Ted Davis, sort of. He got an entry-level job at a political consulting firm in Washington, answering phones, photocopying, and the like. But he's keeping his job at the bar. He makes as much there in 2 nights as he'll make 5 days a week at the consulting firm. Mark Culpepper wasn't so lucky. Mark packed his bags and headed west, back to San Francisco, to do what so many recent grads have been forced to do, live with mom and dad until the right job comes along.
Finally this morning, record stores all across the country are hoping to rack up some big sales today. The long-awaited twin albums by the rock group Guns N' Roses were released early this morning. Some stores opened just after midnight to accommodate anxious fans who were lined up for copies of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
I have to have it now. I mean, there's no alternative.
Guns N' Roses is probably the biggest band in the world right now, and their album is just been, everybody's been waiting for it for the longest time, and this is worth the wait, definitely.
The group sold 14 million copies of its first album, and record store owners are hoping for a repeat performance. That's the news at 26 minutes before the hour. Let's check in with Harry and more.
Government, and we discovered that American
loan guarantee